What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Boy, do we have an exciting market watch for you guys today with a ton of stuff I'm truly interested to get to. But let's start with Blazing Vortex, thanks to Sutff, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization for the easier presentation here of what is a lot of our secret. Thinking Blazing Vortex is turning out a lot more like Ignition Assault the more we see into it. We are now relying somewhat on the War Rocks for value. Underdog is severely disappointing in terms of how they hyped it up on the initial page. It reads as a continuous trap card that takes up a secret rare slot. During your turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. During your opponent's turn, negate the effects of all face-up monsters you control. I read this backward at first and thought it was an amazing card. Good thing I actually listened to good old Sutff. And with this card, it feels like you're going to have to set it. Hope that it lasts all your turn, your opponent's turn. Flip it up in the end phase. Hopefully they didn't plop down an Omni Negate like Borreload Savage Dragon, and then it'll do something for you. Congratulations! It's just kind of trying to make a floodgate fair, and in that I don't really think there's going to be a format where this is prevalent. Maybe some trap dot deck, or being able to use Eldritch to turn it off, but I really just don't see it being the greatest thing for yourself and your game overall with how it operates. We do have Miradora in a secret rare slot. I think this might get some overhype. I'm not the biggest fan of this card. I get why some people like it as well. Taking a secret rare slot, that is interesting. I think that this will be around what Gizmet Kaku was. $30-ish, $35, one of the more in-demand cards from this set. I think the Link 5 is pretty darn good, and maybe it has higher potential than that, but I think that's where it will initially be on set release. And then press 1 if you thought this would be a secret rare. You were really good at calling cards in the set. That was the easiest 2020 foresight ever. Yeah, this being secret and hopefully Starlight Rare will give a lot of value to the set. People are arguing on its viability as they have with almost every pot card that has come out, from Extravagance to Desires. I do think this one actually is low-key insane. You get to pick what you're taking out, you get to grab the card, but like, I do think that it has its problems versus decks that it can appear in. Still an amazing card, and we're relying on the War Rocks tomorrow. This is why I told you guys, calm down, chill out, don't go mommy hype or, waifu tax. Surely we'll save the War Rocks. Calm down, let's read some effects, and then decide if we're going for singles or case diving. But there might be, depending on the Starlights, good reason to case dive, as that market has still been wonky. Starlights have been falling out. Now let's get to some interesting buyouts. Gamma Seal, its secret rare and super rare from OTS pack have been bought out. You have an ultra rare from Dual Devastator as well, though, as competition in the holographics. I'm a man of culture. I've got myself a Gamera over here, who he's based off of. I've got myself a couple collector rares. I just don't think this was the time for it. Maybe you're calling for future formats to have kaijus in them again. Maybe I like turtles. Maybe you're just a big fan, but I don't think this was the greatest buyout unless you used my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. Vanity's Ruler is a thing this format that's super prevalent, and you'd be working to spin the gates and then take care of cards on their field. I just don't think this is the way for now, but I do think Gamma Seal will have its future formats and maybe even more printings by then, but it's super accessible thanks to Dual Devastator in a holographic form. These do look better though. Blue Eyes White Dragon from Dark Legends has been bought out, and I want to revisit Dark Legends. I've been saying that it's a worse retro pack without really thinking that being compared to retro pack as a worse retro pack, not the worst thing in the world. As Blue Eyes White Dragon gets treated like Charizard, this one has been gone, and is now gone completely. And when we look through the rest of the set, it is classics and memorable rarities that people do like. You do have a ultra rare turbo pack, a super rare retro pack Sangan, as we get back to the Sutff talk with Altergeist. Last time Super Sangans got bought out was around then, as I actually glitch in the Matrix for you guys. But Sangan, it's actually not a bad looker. Then you have Super Raigeki in a unique set. You have Super Solemn Judgment. People remember liking the super rares, but you also have a retro pack competitor there. While it is worse, people still take worse versions in a sense of more available cards and still buy them, and then they go up, and all these cards are really good, memorable anime cards. So I do get why the actual stock in Dark Legends is starting to go up. And one of the true only upgrades left in here, Dark Bribe, of course, it's been going up a little bit over time too. The Duelist Genesis, memorable Stardust Dragon, all the synchros. This has been going up for its first edition because you could only get that first edition, if I recall, at sneak peeks and also from some collector tins, which odd enough had first edition packs. So there's some wonky buyouts going out where Thought Ruler Archfiend, for example, Ultimate Rare, we get past the 5th page, there's no first edition, 6th page, you do have Unlimiteds available at near mint, and then first edition 6.9 nice, around $70. For a card that did see more niche play, but did see play, it was the Stardust Beatdown where you gained some life points and had a little bit of self-protection. But then Goyo Guardian, a much more impactful card. I know the errata has some sour memories for you guys, but its first edition is under 50 at 47, lining up at 50. So these buyouts have caused some crazy levels of things to be happening. You have $210 charge the Light Brigades. I don't think Max Rarity Lightsworn will ever be cheap again. And just really, that's higher than basically its top meta price. But you see a ton of cards around here that people have fond memories of. Kinkabayo, I covered this first edition, not really knowing why, but now it makes sense with the set, as the set has been getting a lot of looks from people, and it makes sense. So these are like the more exciting conversations. It's not just, why did a retro pack Dark Revelations 4 card get bought out again, John? Why did this Ultimate from an OTS pack? This is some good freaking food for me, and I enjoy more so finding the fun conversations about Market Watch. Guardian Sphinx, Secret Rare, Ultra Rares, they're going. Dark Beginnings 2, Retro Pack Common. Yeah, there's new support for it, new support, equal buyout, go burr. But this really is a cool underestimated card from back in the day. You just end up getting hit by Nobleman Across Out and stuff like that, and trying to play Ceasefire to save it, and it's just a freaking mess. But it is a memorable card, so much so that it ended up in Master Collection here, and kind of cool for Yu-Gi-Oh! To see a card so way back get some legacy support. The Mattel cards are getting a lot of focus with that Mattel Cyber Dragon having appeared and been bought for crazy money, and people are looking around and talking about things. This was back down to $16. I showed you the fallout from the buyout, and it gets another freaking buyout. But as these buyouts happen, those people that had stacks and stacks of these cards no longer are going to have that, kind of like dual terminal cards, and how some of those buyouts are finally sticking. And I do think from this final buyout, we'll start to see it have trouble falling below $30-ish. We see it at 75s here, and then 120, but the sales rates are what matter, and what's going to pump some hype back into this versus people starting to list it under each other. I think we'll see it go back towards 30, but we will wait and see about that. Water Dragon also getting a buyout, and this is a weird one. I remember this used to sell to buy list for $10 to $12, and its market price is still $10 today. It gets a buyout during this Mattel action figure focus towards $70, $6.9 nice, and then $3.50, so that's a motivated seller at $70. Again, the sales rates are going to be weird, but it is interesting that it fell under what buy list bought it for over time. That's a weird one to me, and I wonder if more got found or what happened with that, or if it was just a lack of interest until recently as people started investing a lot. Dual Terminal Preview. This is where a lot of people come to me with the card, John, this got bought out on Dual Terminal, it's crazy. And I say, that's because it has preview attached to the version you're sending me. Blue Eyes White Dragon has a shock value price of up towards $5,000 lowest here. I'm seeing people ask for $4,000 on not quite mint ones in Facebook groups. Actual sales have happened around $2,500, $1,800 in just a couple months ago. And as Yu-Gi-Oh's gotten crazier, Blue Eyes, it's one of the grails in having different versions. Not everybody likes the tablet art, but Dual Terminal Preview is a name that is holding a lot of weight. The Dark Magician and Red Eyes, I don't even like this version of Red Eyes. It has kind of the puke green in the back. It got bought out around the Dragoon time and then got refocused. Cyber Dragon up to crazy amounts. I think I have one of these in DTP, and I have myself 3 Catasters, which just never seem to be able to sell for a great price. But I spent $120 back in the day, finally above. I'd wait to see my sales rate on that. But towards $190 by one lister who finally wants their money, Big City Cards, and then it's $800. Dual Terminal Preview, a set that was only available at one Nationals, but also made its way to California and was somehow available for a bit. I don't know all the details, so huge quantities got out for a bit, but all those sellers by now have pretty much let those huge quantities go, and they're spread out to the market with people holding them, and there's just not a lot of this for another set with tons of memorable things and actual unique rarities from the first 3 animes. Amulet Dragon has been bought out for the secret rare. It has tons of available new versions. If you know something besides Dark Magician as a reason for this, do let me know. But the secret rare now is at $42 for first edition, $41 for the lowest English copies. Kind of weird to see this one going versus other Dark Magician collectibles, but understandable. Have a nice day. White Knight Dragon is one that I'm really not too sure of. The dual terminal and secret rare first edition have been bought out to pretty crazy proportions. The Unlim almost seeming untouched. Another holographic version of it seemingly untouched from a legendary collection, so not sure why someone has gone after this. This was always money on buy list though, even when it would seem like it is a bulkish card for its effect. And you can see first edition here at $1 for the Legendary Collection 2 Holo, which is no slouch of a Legendary Collection. Very interesting buyout. Not sure why. Ninjas? I really don't know why somebody has gone after that one, but interesting nonetheless. Now, this one's far more interesting to me. Ubel, and talking about past sets. So, sealed box prices have been spiking and spiking and spiking for first edition. And we see Ubel, the Unlimiteds are at 25, which is up over time as well. But first edition pretty much gone in one lister at 280. So as Phantom Darkness, one of the most remembered sets, only has so many chase cards between Ultimate Rare Allure, Dark Arm Dragon, people start to look at other really cool things from anime-esque stuff to other things in these sets, and they start to go up versus that estimated value pulled, because if the sealed is oh so much, what's inside that's worth it? And that starts to go as well. That's why we've been looking at stuff like the 10 promos, and the 10 promos have been shooting up, but it works the same with the sealed product and estimated value pulled, starting to try to catch a little bit marginally versus those crazy sealed prices. Ubel, a fan favorite, has an ultimate rare for the original, by the way, in the OCG that has also gone up in price, weird enough. Its secret rare has been going up steadily, almost every version, but there is a competing secret rare that I was kind of surprised to see. First editions are around $10-ish. That's not bad if you're looking for just having a nice looking copy of this card. Preparation of Rites for those Drytron players. If you have these first edition near mint in your Necros deck, might want to consider selling now. The first edition literally does not exist on TCG Player, so you can kind of try to set the price. It's very hard to get this without foil wear, as Stardust Overdrive commonly has that problem, so if you have those, they are a little hard to find, which is why Christie has skyrocketed over time, but it looks like there's still Unlims pretty darn cheap on market. Magician of Black Chaos, an anime moment card that I really do respect. It only has 3 printings, a common that's hard to get, a secret rare out of premium pack, and then an ultra rare for speed duels. So the secret rare is the nicest looking version, even though speed duel, you can use it in speed duel. That format's not a real format. Let's just be very frank. They update it once in a great while. They don't pay attention. Where are the great remote duel giant cards, Konami? I know you watch my channel. Do something for speed duels with that great end of year release. Do a speed duel remote duel giant card, please. But anyways, I digress. We see this $11, $12, and then, well, that's actually light play, and then it jumps to 20. Just an anime card to have in its nicest form that's shrunk away over time. Premium Pack 1 is kind of worth some looks, as it's had rolling targeted buyouts, and there are also, as you should understand, supers that come commonly misprinted as secret rare, so these aren't just like high for no reason. They're actually misprints that were somewhat common, and we see the misprint market really skyrocketing over time for what it is, so that's why some of those are up. But I think cards like Marshmallow, not the worst card to have in secret rare. I always call it Re-Eona, like, because 2 L's in Texas slash the Spanish language often makes a Y, but it's Re-Eona is towards $12.50 now, cooling down a bit, and I like to kind of scroll through buy list over at Trolltoad. We see Artemis at $6.80 above market price, and then Re-Eona at $11.25. So if you were selling on TCG Player after fees and all that, you're better off selling the Trolltoad with code What'sGood5 to support the channel. Get yourself 5% extra on the buy list. You have to put that in the notes. And you could then do the trade-in credit to actually get 40% bonus rather than just cash, but you would actually make more cash as well. This is why it's worth kind of typing things in, looking at Troll's buy list, and then actually consider selling to them. It's kind of cool to go through there and see that. Disappears the final card. Thanks to the Discord for bringing some of these cards to my attention for Market Watch as always. Check the Discord link. Take part in the conversation there. Disappear is first editions are $7. It's just another card that messes with the graveyard. I don't think this is a great buyout, but Legacy of Darkness, very old common, not easy to get. If I recall, this is an actual short print as well. Not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure. So, kind of interesting to see that the commons unlimited still readily available and easy to get. But yeah, just messing with the graveyard against Drytron seems pretty good, haha. There's better cards to do that with, but this is a little more generic for messing with other things, I guess. Transmigration Prophecy, Crevice from a Dark Dimension, you have way better cards to do that with. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing if you're here and you haven't subscribed? Like the video if you enjoyed the conversation, and let me know what you think of, to me at least, some of the more interesting conversations in the market that I actually truly enjoy.